This woman's name echoes down the corridors of Tudor history, enveloped in an air of secrecy and notoriety. But who is she exactly? Have you been acquainted with the mysterious Lady Rochford? She remains an enigmatic figure who orchestrated the tragic fates of not one, but two of Henry VIII's wives. What secrets did she carry, and why did she wield them with such deadly precision? Join us on a journey to discover the truth behind Lady Rochford's elusive character and her treacherous deeds. Amidst the annals of English history, few monarchs have ever cast as long a shadow as Henry VIII. He was a man of formidable appetites and unquenchable ambition. He strode across the stage of his era with a confidence and force that seemed almost larger than life. But as the saying goes, behind every great man, there is a great woman. In Henry's case, there was none more influential than Lady Rochford. Before the dark clouds of fate descended upon her, Lady Rochford had basked in the sunlight of a life steeped in privilege and luxury. Indeed, she had been born into a world of aristocratic splendour. This was where her every whim and desire was catered to with the utmost care and attention. Born into a world of privilege and luxury, Lady Rochford was then known as Jane Parker. She was the daughter of Henry Parker, the 10th Baron Morley. Her exact birth date is unknown, however, it is believed that she was likely born in Norfolk around the year 1505. Growing up in an aristocratic environment, Lady Rochford was surrounded by all the trappings of wealth, prestige, and power. In 1525, Lady Rochford's life took a momentous turn when she married George Boleyn. He was the brother of Anne Boleyn, one of Henry VIII's most infamous wives. At the time of their marriage, George was a rising star in the court of Henry VIII. As a result of her association, Lady Rochford gained access to the inner circles of power, and she quickly became a fixture in the Tudor court. In the shadowy court of Henry VIII, power was a fickle thing, and Lady Rochford knew how to wield it. Lady Rochford's position as a lady-in-waiting to Henry's many queens gave her unprecedented access to the inner workings of the Tudor court. It is believed that she used this privileged position to gain the king's ear and influence his decisions. Her mastery of court politics and her shrewdness in maneuvering through the complex power dynamic of the Tudor court made her a formidable player in the game of politics. She had more cunning and maneuvering skills than a fox in a henhouse. It is through this mastery of social chess that Lady Rochford has long been a subject of fascination and conjecture amongst historians. Many have speculated that Lady Rochford wielded a remarkable influence over the notoriously capricious monarch, whereas others have gone so far as to suggest that she was one of the few people who could sway his opinions. Lady Rochford's marriage to George Boleyn gave her access to the highest circles of influence. George was known for his intelligence, charm, and good looks, and quickly rose through the ranks of the court. George's meteoric rise to power was largely thanks to his close relationship with his sister, Anne Boleyn. Together, they were a force to be reckoned with, holding significant sway over the highest echelons of power. But their time in the court was cut short by a tragic turn of events. Lady Rochford, George's own wife, played a sinister role in the downfall of both George and Anne Boleyn. The ordeal began on May 2, 1536, when Anne and George were apprehended and incarcerated in the forbidding Tower of London. They were arrested on charges of the gravest nature: adultery, treason, and incest. They were accused of engaging in adulterous liaisons with numerous partners, including each other, and also of hatching a plot to assassinate the king. Well, it looks like Anne and George's social calendar was a bit more scandalous than expected. These charges were based on the statements given by several individuals, one of whom was none other than Jane Boleyn, better known as Lady Rochford. Lady Rochford, one of the key witnesses called to testify against Anne, brazenly testified that both Anne and George had engaged in adultery. George, in his defense, vehemently protested his innocence against the charges of adultery and treason. However, his attempts to clear his name were weakened by his reputation for licentious behavior and extramarital affairs. Anne, on the other hand, was defenseless. Literally. This was because she was not granted access to legal counsel and had to face a heavily biased trial. Despite her unwavering declarations of innocence, she was pronounced guilty. Lady Rochford's testimony proved to be a crucial blow to Anne's defense, helping in her conviction and eventual execution on May 19, 1536. There is some debate among historians about Lady Rochford's motives for testifying against Anne Boleyn. Some suggest that she was motivated by a desire to gain favor with the king, whereas others suggest that she may have been acting out of revenge against her husband, whom she suspected of having an affair with Anne. There has even been speculation that Lady Rochford may have had an affair with Henry VIII and helped him in his quest to rid himself of his unwanted wife. The arrest and subsequent execution of Anne Boleyn and her brother George Boleyn were significant events in the history of the Tudor era. The charges of adultery, incest, and treason that were brought against them marked the end of Anne's short reign as queen and the downfall of the Boleyn family. Lady Rochford's notorious reputation for scheming and manipulation did not stop with the downfall of Anne and George Boleyn. In fact, she went on to play a significant role in another scandal. Lady Rochford's involvement in the scandal that led to the downfall of Catherine Howard is a topic that continues to fascinate to this day. Catherine Howard, Henry VIII's fifth wife and the Queen of England from 1540 to 1541, was Jane's cousin. And as the cousin of the ill-fated Queen, Lady Rochford was privy to many of Catherine's secrets. She also helped her conduct love affairs in secret. However, when the Queen's infidelities were discovered, Lady Rochford turned on her cousin and testified against her in court. The exact nature of Lady Rochford's motivations in betraying Catherine Howard is a subject of much debate. Some suggest that Lady Rochford may have acted out of genuine concern for the Queen's behavior. Considering how her previous testimony worked out, there may not be much truth to that theory. However, others speculate that her actions were driven by a desire to gain favor with the notoriously unpredictable king. Some historians even suggest that Lady Rochford may have been motivated by a desire for revenge against Catherine, whom she may have seen as a rival for the king's affections. Whatever her motivations may have been, Lady Rochford's actions had far-reaching consequences. Her testimony helped secure Catherine's conviction, and Catherine was executed for her alleged crimes. Despite her role in these scandals, Lady Rochford's ultimate fate was no less tragic than those she helped bring down. Henry, wanting her punished for facilitating the Queen's adultery, had her arrested and executed alongside the Queen she helped bring down. As we reflect on Lady Rochford's life and downfall, a lesson we can draw on is the destructive power of rumors and gossip. Lady Rochford's own scandalous behavior and involvement in the affairs of others ultimately contributed to her downfall. Her legacy as a controversial figure in Tudor history continues to raise questions about the complex power dynamics of the time and the motivations of those who played the game of social status and politics. So, what do you think about Lady Rochford and her role in Tudor history? Do you think she was simply a victim of circumstance, or did she actively seek out power and influence? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more fascinating historical content.